Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. So it has been a hot minute since I even uploaded a video, and I am truly sorry about that. I have just been so wound up with my main book channel that I have neglected this one, and I do truly apologize. People subscribed to my channel to get videos of me reading horror books. Um, So, I'm going to change that. I'm definitely going to upload a lot more. I did upload a lot of videos to the point where YouTube said, you've uploaded enough videos, don't need to. So, I am going to talk about in this video one of the biggest problems when you do read old horror, like Fear Street is a prime example of this. The newer ones, you have websites that are dedicated to like what order the author wrote the books, and then but give that about a decade or two, and they will stop having it. Then you'll have Reddit or whatever appears in whatever. I grew up with Fear Street. I was a teenager. Well, I was like a late teenager. When no, take it back. I was a young adult to teenager when Fear Street was being published. And I will tell you that that series shaped my entire teenage years. I remember going to the library in St. Louis. And no, it's not what you think. It's a book. It was a bookstore. I don't even, like, in all honesty, I don't even remember when they shut down. I don't. But I remember going in and they had all these different levels, and you could go, and the top one was the children's and young adult stuff. And we would zip up there first thing. And literally, you had mountains and mountains of Fear Street books. And they all had these beautiful, like, white pages. And you could never imagine them being yellow. And now I'm in my 40s, and all the Fear Street books, except for the reprints, are all yellow. And it's like, but, you go and you sit there in front of, like, on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, well, Amazon mainly, and you're trying to find, like, the old Fear Street books. And most importantly, you're trying to get them in publication order. So, for people that don't know, Fear Street was a series of books. Now, a couple of years ago, weird thing happened. Weird thing happened was, he came back to writing Fear Street, but more for like adults that had grown up with it. So you had more like mature things. I even have the audiobooks to, like, I think 3 of them. I might be wrong. But it took place in a town called Shadyside, and one of the important founding families of Shadyside was the Fear family, or the Fire family, but then became Fear. And the evil that they did, the spirits that they controlled and summoned, really tainted what used to be neutral land. And so you go and you're reading these books about these teenagers having these really terrifying experiences, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so glad this is not real. So at the end of every book, R.L Stine told you the title of the next book and the month that he would publish it, or month that Simon & Schuster would publish it. the thing was, the only, in my own personal belief, the only way he could do that is if he had several manuscripts already finished. So it was only natural to, hey, this is the next book coming out. Nowadays, if you buy a old Fear Street book, there is a 50-50 chance the next title will be on the back. If it's not, it means it's been torn out. So, I'm starting on the Mind Reader. Now, I did read 99 Fear Street, The House of Evil. All 3 books were just as good as I remember it. And thankfully, weirdly enough, the people that sent it to me, they included a bookmark. So, yay. But it doesn't have the next one. Now, this is not actually, this is, it doesn't have it. Meaning that whoever owned this book tore it out. So what I ended up having to do is I ended up having to buy the new, like, I think it's the Evil Returns. That is a Fear Street super chiller. So I got the book in, and I immediately went to the back, and it said wrong number 2. And I'm like, okay, it's too early for Stine at the time that he published it to bring out another trilogy. This has got to be the next book. So there's actually a Reddit, because the pain is real. The pain is real. Basically, somebody compiled a complete list of every single book in publication order that R.L Stine published these books. So I went on there, found it, first click. I think it was like the 3rd hit, and I clicked it, and you have to expand it, and you expand it, and it has the list of every book he published in publication order. And sure enough, after the Mind Reader is the New Evil, and then the wrong number 2. Now, as we get closer to the end of his run, we have like the Fear Street Saga, which was a collection of books that took place way before, no, it's not, I wouldn't say way before. Some of them take place during the time that Simon and Angelica Fear were alive. The rest of them has some kind of connection to the Fear family in some kind of way. So, I think at some point, I will get to the Fear Street sagas. The last one was never published, and that was the only time that we were told a book was coming out, and it never did. And R.L Stine has never revealed why he stopped writing it. He took a huge decade and a half break from Fear Street. But every time he made a comment that every time he would walk down the street, someone would ask him, hey, when are you going to write another Fear Street book? And I think it got to the point where he was getting so tired of hearing it, and it does happen. If you are fortunate as an author to hit a series that changes the lives of a generation of teenagers when they become adults, that is something you should cherish beyond anything, because you have connected to people in a way that a lot of authors could only dream about. So I believe he did 5 or 6 of them. Now he has stopped writing them altogether. Now, what happened when R.L Stine decided to write Fear Street again was the price of Fear Street books went up. They went up from a penny to sometimes up to $90. It was like people were really taking advantage of the fact that people were hunting down these old Fear Street books because they wanted to have a collection. And I am one of them. I remember making a comment to my mother like, well, wow, these Fear Street books are super cheap. Then she said, one event will happen, they will go up in price, and she was right. So I said to myself, if I ever had one horror series that I could keep, it would have to be Fear Street. So I actually have the wrong number 2 in my cart. And Amazon seems to be the only online retailer that is selling the old Fear Street books. So what I'm actually going to do, and I said on my other channel that I was only going to buy one book, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hurry up the process, and I am going to, starting my last paycheck of the month, I'm picking up 4 Fear Street books, and if anyone will know what they are, it is going to be move it up a little bit. It is going to be alright, Truth or Dare, Dead End, Final Grade, and Switched. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. And next month I will get Bad Moonlight, College Weekend, Evil Moon, The Dark Secret, The New Year's Party, and Deadly Fire. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 6 Fear Street books that I will be picking up. But anyways, yeah, so I'm sorry about not uploading videos like I generally do. I will go ahead and say this. I did read How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. That book was like, oh my god. And basically what the book is about is that I believe it's both their parents died. The father died first and the mother died second. They were in an automobile accident. And they both had wills, which were odd. If the wife dies before the husband, her estate is transferred to him, and he has control over what happens. If he dies before she does, his estate transfers to her, and her will is the one that's honored. So what basically happened was the husband died first, so automatically his estate was transferred to her. However, she died shortly after he did, so the estate, the attorney was going by what she had in her will. And we find out a lot of stuff happened. The mother was into puppets, had this freaky weird puppet that must have been inspired by Chucky. This thing was haunted by the spirit of their dead relative that died long time ago. It's a very interesting but creepy story. And I'm like, oh, okay. that doll gave me the heebie-jeebies. Anyways, I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. It was a good book. It really was. Grady Hendrix does great work. But anyways, I will do another video, and then I'm going to try to take a little nap for about an hour.